through kingdom building.
Yep, make sure you speak loud, okay?
14 verse 3.
Yep.
Do not eat whatever is abominable. These are the living creatures which you do eat. Ox, sheep.
Keep going.
Deer and gazelle and roebuck and wild goat and mountain goat and antelope
Yep.
and mountain sheep and every beast that has a split hoof divided in two, chewing the cud among the beasts you do eat.
So that's telling you what the animals that you can eat, right? Split hooves and chew the cud. Keep reading verse 7.
But of those chewing the cud who having a split hoof completely divided you do not eat, such as these, the camel and the hare and the rabbit, for they chew the cud, but do not have a split hoof. They are unclean for you. And the pig is unclean for you because it has a split hoof, but does not chew the cud. You do not eat their flesh or touch their dead carcasses. These carcasses, my God. These you do eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales you do eat.
All they have what?
Fins and scales.
Keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
And whatever does not have fins and scales you do not eat. It is unclean for you, and any clean bird you
Okay, hold on. Let me stop there. So for the land animals that you eat.
Just turn it off.
Turn it off real quick.
Watch out. Who put that together?
All right, pay attention. All right, pay attention, children. All right, let's keep going. So all the land animals that have a split hoof and that chew the cud, you can eat. The animals that do not have a split hoof, can you eat it? What about if the animal has a split hoof but does not chew the cud? Can you eat it? So they have to have both, right? If they have one of the requirements, they still can't eat it. They have to have it all. They have to have all the requirements. That's how it works with prophecy too. When you read prophecy and you're trying to see how prophecy was fulfilled, like when you read the scriptures and you want to see who Israel is. And other people are trying to say, no, y'all not Israel, we Israel. And you read the scriptures and you're like, okay, but does it meet all the requirements of who Israel is? Does this nation meet 100% of the requirements? There's only one nation in the whole world that meets all the requirements in the scriptures as far as who Israel is. And y'all, it is you. That's how we know. People gonna ask y'all that all the time. But anyway, that was a sidebar. Let's keep reading. Verse. All right, now as far as the fish, as far as the water animals, you good, sis?
Yeah, we were talking yesterday, and rhinos have hooves, but they have like toe hooves. They have 3 toes and they have hooves on each toe.
Yeah, you have to have a split hood.
Hood and three toes. Rhino?
You have to have a split hood and chew the cud. I had to look it up. I haven't really studied the rhino that good.
You kind of weird, yeah. You kind of weird wanting to eat some rhinos. I want to have some rhinos on your menu. You might as well add a hippopotamus to that.
So a split hoof, if you look at a deer, and the deer has a hoof that's split in half. That's what they're talking about. That's split. See what I'm saying?
Cud is different. I think I want to have some hippo tonight. You know, bringing in some rhinos.
I don't know though. The rhinos do graze. They might. I don't know.
Yeah, they graze, but they don't chew the cud.
Cud is what comes up out of your stomach.
Right, it's like a filtration system. Yeah. All right. So with fish. What do fish have to have in order for you to be able to eat it according to the scriptures? So that means if a fish has scales but no fins, can you eat it? If it has fins but no scales, can you eat it? All right, y'all got this. All right, keep going. We're in verse 8.
And the pig is unclean for you because it has a split hoof but does not chew the cud. You do not eat their flesh or touch their dead carcasses. These you do eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales you do And whatever does not have fins and scales you do not eat. It is unclean for you, and clean bird you do eat. But these you do not eat: the eagle and the vulture and the black vulture and the red kite and the falcon and the buzzard after their kinds. And every raven after his kind, and the ostrich and the nighthawk and the seagull and the hawk after their kinds, the little owl and the gray owl, the white owl and the pelican, and the carrion vulture and the fisher owl, and the stork and the heron after his kind, and the hoopoe. Is that hoopoe?
Yeah.
Hoopoe and the bat.
So did it say chicken you cannot eat?
No.
Okay, that's a sidebar. Just had to throw that in there. Verse 19.
And every creeping insect that flies is unclean for you. They are not eaten. And any clean bird you do eat, do not eat whatever dies of itself. Give it to the sojourner who is within your gates.
Okay, I have a quick question. Stop there. And adults, y'all can answer this one too. Because this is for y'all too, kind of. Only this question, though. Everything else will be for the children. What do you call an animal that is clean, but it's still unclean? An animal that is clean, but you still are not supposed to eat it according to the scriptures.
A giraffe.
No? One more time. Man, he on it, man. It's called common. So there's a difference between eating something that's common and eating something that's unclean. And so something that's common is like if you have a clean animal, like let's say chicken or lamb. Let's say lamb. Let's say lamb, okay? But the lamb died of itself, you are still not to eat that. That's still unclean to you, even though it's a clean animal. That's called common. You'll see that mentioned in the New Testament. Go ahead.
So define dies of itself. Thank you.
So dies of itself meaning if an animal tore it apart and it's laying there dead, if an animal dies of old age, if an animal dies without you killing it yourself, if you didn't kill it, it's just like if you find a fish floating, don't eat that. You know what I'm saying? That's unclean. It don't have to be roadkill. You could be, but that too though. But I'm saying you could be walking up and the animal is dead. It may look fine. Don't eat it. It died of itself. You know what I'm saying? And so that would be considered, unclean, even though it's a clean animal. Got it, y'all? Oh, go ahead, sis.
So, what is like, you really see the animal have some type of blemish or deformity, right? We're not supposed to eat that either, right? Even though it's clean, but it appears that something's wrong with it.
No.
So the answer to that would be you can eat it. Now, as far as an unblemished animal, you cannot sacrifice it. You cannot offer it up to the Most High as a sacrifice. But if an animal has a blemish, you can kill it and eat it for yourself and your family. But you do have to be, you have to use judgment because you don't want to eat a diseased animal. But there are a lot of animals that have blemishes and they're not diseased. So, the Most High, you have to be specific with the ones you offer to Him. But as far as you can eat an animal that has a blemish. That's another reason I would say to keep away from unclean animals, though, because if you eat a diseased unclean animal, that's on a whole nother level compared to eating a diseased clean animal. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not sure, but the common could be like certain animals are supposed to be killed some certain ways. You're not supposed to stress the animal when you kill it, so that could be common.
Yeah, I know that's a good point because so traditionally there's a certain way our ancestors killed the animal so that it can bleed out because you're not supposed to eat the blood. You're not supposed to eat the blood. So I can see that as a possibility if the animal was not killed right. Because the New Testament says not to eat things strangled. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a clean animal, but you didn't kill it right, let's say you strangled it, which means that the way you killed it, there's going to be blood all within the meat, most likely. Maybe that will be considered common as well. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Now it's time for the test. Y'all, go ahead.
Say you touch an unclean animal, how long does it
You're unclean to the evening. Who said that? Yeah, I said you're unclean to the evening. I believe him. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure. I knew it was either till the evening or it's usually until evening or 7 days. That's whenever you become unclean for some reason. 7 days or until evening. All right. Anything else? All right. Here's it. Y'all ready for the test?
No, they're not.
Y'all, is there somebody still in that hallway? Oh, come on out here so you can see the screen, Aki. Appreciate it. All right, come on. Y'all let me know. Y'all ready? What is that right there? To eat or not?
To eat or not to eat?
Adults, do not answer this. No, no, no. So they said no. So that's a giraffe. That's what that is. That's giraffe meat. So they actually eat that in Africa. The giraffe actually, does it have cloven feet? Does anybody know? Jada? Does a giraffe have cloven feet? Do y'all know? The giraffe has cloven feet. Do giraffes chew the cud? Yes, they do. Giraffes chew the cud. So are y'all able to eat giraffe meat if y'all wanted to, according to the scriptures? You are. You are able to. The African, huh?
What's the cud?
So chewing the cud is a way that it's a filtration system, kind of that it's a built-in filtration system where animals, when they graze, they chew the grass or whatever they're eating. It goes down, comes back up. Chew it again, and it goes back down. So that's chew the cud. Go ahead, Dawu. You probably can explain it better than me.
No, that's perfect. That's exactly what it is.
It's a digestive process.
Those who chew the cuds will have multiple stomachs. It'll go down into one stomach, pass through a filter system, and then come back up, and they'll chew that. That's what chewing the cud is. So, for example, if something, I ain't gonna do it, but if like Darian or Nehemiah went out there and started chewing on grass, that's not them chewing the cud. So that doesn't count still.
That's just nasty.
They eat it, then they regurgitate it, and then they eat it again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, like cows and stuff, they talk about how the cows have like 2 stomachs and all that type of stuff. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right. Oh, they have 4 stomachs. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got 4 people.
Dang, that's crazy. All right, let's keep it going, y'all. Come on. I need to hear y'all. Y'all been doing okay. Y'all been doing okay, even though y'all got this one wrong. But we gonna work it out. All right. To eat or no? All right. Let's figure this out. I mean, because they eat this in China. They eat it in China.
I got the same expression as the man.
So raise your hand if you can eat this. Okay, y'all got this one right. Yeah, she bit a whole piece out of that boy. Alright, my bad. Let me hurry up and switch out for this. Alright, what is this? It's a what? A pigeon. Those are them same birds you see on the streets all the time. Can you eat or not?
No.
Really? Do y'all remember when we read the scripture they told you that the birds you could not eat?
Yes.
You can eat a pigeon if you want to, fam. You can eat the pigeon. They eat them in France. Good old pigeon right there. I'm just saying. It's hey, it's not unclean. That's all I'm saying. You can eat the pigeon, fam. You can eat the pigeon.
Chicken.
Oh, hey, barbecue pizza. Oh, no, that's snake.
All right, this is snake. Skewered snake meat. They put it on the skewer, y'all. All right, can y'all eat this?
No.
All right.
Yeah, you can.
All right, yeah, they started to do pretty good. Yeah, okay. We almost done. So that is locust. Jada said yeah. Anthony said yeah. Can you eat the locust?
Yes.
No? Who said no? Raise your hand.
You having a Loki salad?
And who said yes? All right, Jaden and them is right. Jaden and them is right. Y'all are right. You can eat the locust according to the scriptures. Again, that is something that is very regularly eaten in Africa as well. Yeah, John the Baptist had the locust and wild honey. Man, y'all gotta read y'all scriptures, man. John the Baptist, that's how he rolled. Yeah. No, it was a trick. This one was broke down to Leviticus, so I got it. This wasn't in this passage, so I'll give that one to y'all. That was more of a freebie. But Leviticus breaks down. You can eat these as well. Leviticus, I believe, 13. No, Leviticus 11. I can't remember. 11, really. Yeah. All right. So that's a dog. That's dog meat. They got the dog legs right there. Dog leg. I mean, they eat this in China, Korea. This is pretty regularly eaten in other places. All right, who said that you can eat this? All right. All right.
That's General Soul chicken right there.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap. All right. Y'all doing okay now, y'all? Can you eat the lobster? Lobster tail? Everybody eat that out here, don't they? Oh, no, Anthony.
Why can't you eat the lobster?
Why can't you eat the lobster? Huh? Go ahead, Julia. Why can you not eat the lobster? Give it a mic. Give it a mic. It has no what? There we go. Hallelujah. What about those right there? Y'all know about these down, all y'all Louisiana people. What about those right there?
Oh, now then.
It's the same thing. You cannot eat these because they do not have what? It's very easy. If it don't have fins and scales, y'all need to throw it. Throw it in the trash. Throw it somewhere. Yeah. Yes, they are. What about these? What about those? So, Andrea, say what you said again. What did you say about these? What did you say before that?
Sea roaches.
They're what? Say it again.
Sea roaches.
One more time. No, you're right.
Sea roaches.
So I know we all was in this captivity. We ain't know better growing up, and we was eating these things, and then we'll look at a roach like it's nasty. But do you know that shrimp do the same thing that the roaches do on the land? Shrimp do in the water? The shrimp are the bottom feeders. See, I know this because I grew up with fish tanks. And I know when you get shrimp and you put them in your fish tank, they're going to eat poo, they're going to eat trash, they're going to eat dead things and all that. And that's what we were eating every day. These are the cleaners of the ocean. I would literally buy bottom feeders, crawfish for my fish tank. I buy all the things to clean my fish tank. That's what they use for. That's their role. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep going. What about that? Does anybody say no? Okay. What about this? Yeah? What about that? Who says no? Do y'all know what that is? Those are oysters. Those are oysters. I want y'all to pay attention to this. I want y'all to pay attention to the Most High and His wisdom. Because right now, people, listen y'all, children, right now, you're going to have friends that's going to laugh at y'all. Oh, y'all don't eat this stuff? Y'all don't eat lobster? Y'all don't eat that? Y'all don't eat shrimp? They're going to think y'all crazy. But y'all, let me show y'all the wisdom of the Most High. The wisdom that he gives y'all. That's why the nations are going to point and say, man, what great nation is that has laws that are so amazing.
I'm good.
All right, so this is so look here, look at these. These are 2 tanks. One of the tank is full of oysters. The other tank does not have oysters. The water came from the same exact source. The water came from the same exact source. Can you help me understand why? The water with the oysters in it is clear? Huh?
They ate the impurities.
Go ahead, Andrea, go ahead.
I have like a little story and then I have a question.
Go ahead.
So on Wednesday or Thursday, my friend asked me, she said, you want to go to Louisiana? I said, yeah, I'm going to go. So when I went, they kept asking me if I want to eat some boudin, if I want some alligator, if I want some seafood and all that. And I was like, nah, I don't eat it. I don't eat none of that. So the Bible, and he tried to tell me, he was like, man, you ever heard of repentance? I said, yeah. I said, that's why I'm not eating it. He said, no, just eat some, taste it, and then repent. I was like, man, I ain't going back. That's what repentance is. I ain't going back.
That's how you catch that Rona.
And then he kept trying to tell me, so we went out to eat and I was asking, because on the menu it said fish. All it said was fish. I said, what kind of fish is it? And they said catfish. And I was like, man, of course. But he told me, he was like, man, you gotta stop asking. Just stop asking. And I was like, no, I gotta ask. No, I gotta ask.
That's right. Let them know, sis. Bring it out.
But my question was, what's the difference between oysters and mussels? I know they're both unclean, but I don't know the difference.
Jada, do you know Jada be knowing that type of stuff? Oh, no. Yeah, we'll have to look that one up. All right. So, children, hold on. We're not done. Hold on. So listen though. These oysters are the cleaners of the ocean. These are the things that clean the water, the lakes and the oceans. These are the things that people are putting in their mouth and eating every day. Do you know how much impurities, how much stuff goes in these oceans? And that's what they clean out. I'm going to read this real quick. It says, both tanks in this photo are full of water from the same source, but the tank on the right has oysters in it. A single adult oyster can filter as much as 50 gallons of water a day. That's real, y'all. So what happens when people go against the Most High's laws and they start going and mass farming the cleaners of the ocean? They're going out and shrimping boats, and you go to Louisiana and they're pulling out millions of oysters every day to feed these people who are going against the commandments. What happens to the oceans? And y'all wonder why the oceans are dying. Y'all wonder why the scriptures talk about in the last days you're going to see mass fish deaths in the lakes and rivers and stuff will be, you can't even deal with them. That may be a factor. I don't know. That may be a factor. So it's just showing the wisdom of the Most High. And that's why it's important to follow Him and keep His commandments. Because it's more than, I know a lot of people when they look at eating clean and unclean, they look at the health aspect, which is an aspect, but it's more to it than that. You're like going against the order the Most High set up for creation. When you eat oyster, when you eat things that the Most High tell you not to eat that He has set up for a different function, you're going against His creation now. And the creation actually, His creation actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Suffers over it. His creation suffers over it. The same thing with eating pig, the pork. That's the same thing. They're the cleaners of the land. They eat everything. They clean up the land. They eat dead stuff. They eat anything. So when you're eating the pork, that's what you get. You see what I'm saying? All right, almost done, y'all. This is the last one. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we can eat that. That's bad.
Yes, you can. You can eat those. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's bad for your body, but if it's unclean for your body, it's unclean for your ruach as well.
Yeah, there you go. That's deep. You're operating outside of what? You're operating outside of the Most High's order. That's a good point. Come on. All right, y'all, this should be an easy one. Can y'all eat this?
Yes.
All right, what about this? All right, y'all. Hey y'all, do y'all think they passed? What y'all think?
No, they failed. No, they good. They did good. They did good.
No, y'all did good, y'all. Hallelujah. Y'all give it up for the children, y'all. I'll praise to the Most High.
They want to add 2 shekels on that one. You guys ever heard the expression, you are what you eat? Okay, so these pictures that the Moreh has put up on these scavengers and these animals, these bottom feeders, when you eat these animals, whatever they ate, you consume what they ate. Now there is a certain parasite that can travel up to your brain and control your thoughts. It's a very, very scientific method that has been proven. Yeah, they over here trying to, I'm over here. Come on back on over here. I'm trying to let y'all know. Okay. So, when you consume these animals that has been, slaughtered, eaten, chopped up, and, seasoned and all of that, and you eat it, you basically take on the characteristics of that animal. So let's say you eat a pig, for example. You eat the pork and whatnot. What are pigs? They scavengers, they bottom feeders, they eat anything. So if you were to put up an alligator up there, you'd be like, I'll eat that. Or if you were to put, what's another unclean animal that he had up there? The crawfish or the lobster, you'll eat that. The snake, you'll eat that. So what he's telling you is that these other nations do these things. Like you put anything in front of them, they're going to eat that. So what does that mean? They're taking on the characteristic of those animals because those animals does the same thing. You put anything in front of that animal, you're going to consume, or the animal's going to consume what you put in front of them. That's why they call them scavengers or bottom feeders, because they'll eat anything, or most animals, I would say, will eat anything that you put in front of them. So the Most High is very clear on what you can and cannot eat, because these animals can become a part of you, and it can control your thoughts and your emotions and things like that, to where you are no longer yourself. You're basically what they call a zombie of the apocalypse, if y'all ever watched that kind of thing. So just food for thought.
Yeah, y'all want to be careful also. I know, dealing with females from the other nations. Because, man, y'all start dealing with these females from these other nations, this is the type of stuff they be eating, fam. A lot of them. And the same thing vice versa, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to deal with our own nation the same way. But when you start dealing with these other nations, they go a little bit more different than what you're used to. I just put it that way. Yeah, all that type of stuff. Squid, all that type of stuff.
The next thing you know, you worshiping their gods.
Yeah. All right, so Daoud want the younger to go over there with him, so y'all can go ahead and roll. Jungle program, my bad, the jungle program. Let's say a prayer real quick for the children real quick, real fast, y'all. Yeah. Yahuwah Elohim, Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. We just want to say Tolah Rabbah for the Yeladim, Tolah Rabbah for the children, for the boys, for our sons and daughters, I should say. Tolah Rabbah for our sons and daughters, Abiyah. They're a blessing, Abiyah. They're a blessing. You beruch your people to be fruitful and to multiply, Abiyah. You beruch your people almost high to bring forth children, O Yahuwah. May they follow you and keep your commandments. May they follow your ways. May they be devoted to you, Abiyah. May the things that we're doing today, Abiyah, affect them to where they follow you and keep your laws. May we divert generational curses, Abiyah, by what we're doing today, by assembling on the Shabbat, Abiyah. Turn into your righteous, ancient ways, Abiyah, by keeping your laws, statutes, and commandments, Abiyah. And as we do that, Yahuwah, may our children do that. May our children's children do that, almost highly of our ancestors. For we're trying to divert not only us, Abiyah, but our generations. Divert the generational curses that were on us because of the sins of our ancestors. Thank you, Abiyah, that you baruch your people Israel with favor. Thank you, Abiyah, that you are with us. We want to say these things in the name of Yahushua, HaMashiach. We just want to say hallelujah. 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 May it be so.